Hello, good morning. In today's lecture, I'm going to discuss a topic of business ethics. It is a subject of BBA and it is a subject of common paper for semester 6 students doing BBA in Marwadi College. So let us discuss the today's topic, that is mechanism of corporate governance. In previous lecture for the same topic of business ethics, that is corporate governance, I have discussed what is corporate governance and various other topics like structure of corporate governance, definition given by various authors, meaning. So you can listen to the previous recording of lecture and understand the topic of corporate governance better. And after listening to that lecture, I am delivering a lecture today on the topic mechanism of corporate governance. Mechanism of corporate governance. So let us discuss what is the mechanism of corporate governance. Corporate governance is ruled by certain principles, laws. So let us discuss these laws, principles one by one. The first law that governs corporate governance is Companies Act 1956. So let us see how Companies Act 1956 governs corporate governance, or Companies Act 1956 says what about corporate governance. It is the biggest legislation within 658 sections and 14 schedules. It gives legal right to shareholders to: number 1, vote on every resolution placed before an annual general meeting. This is the first right given to shareholders, to vote on every resolution. The second point is to select directors who are responsible for specifying objectives and laying down policies. So the second legal right to shareholders is to select the directors of the company. The third right is to determine remuneration of directors and CEOs. Fourth, removal of directors. Fifth, take active part in the annual general meetings. So these are the various rights given to the shareholders according to Companies Act 1956. Now let us come to the second law, that is the Securities Law, which governs corporate governance. That is the SEBI Act 1992, which has taken a number of initiatives towards investors' protection, such as mandate information disclosure both in prospectus, in annual accounts, in an attempt to make those documents more meaningful. So this is the securities law. Now let us come to the third point. Discipline of the capital market. Capital market also tells us something about the corporate governance. So, in the capital market lies the role of the minority shareholders who can play effectively. They can refuse to subscribe to the capital of a company in a primary and secondary market. They can sell their shares, decreasing the share price that makes the company an attractive takeover target. So, by this way, capital market governs the corporate governance. Now, the fourth point is nominees of company's board. Development Bank holds large block of shares in company and have their nominees in the board of directors who can effectively block resolutions. So, the people in the board of directors can block the resolution. They have the power to block the resolution of a company. Now let us come to the fifth point, that is statutory audit. Statutory audit means compulsory audit. Auditing enables the credibility of financial reports by the enterprise. It ensures that the financial statements are accurate, complete and reliable. So, statutory audit also governs the corporate governance by giving accurate information, complete information and reliable information to the company. The auditors do auditing. Auditing is done every year in the month of March. You must be knowing about auditing. Who are the auditors? Auditors are the people who audit a company. Audits, in simple terms, it is the checking of the financial matters of the company. So, the sixth point is code of conduct. Code of conduct, it is formed so that self-regulation on the part of directors besides the monetary position is done. So, code of conduct is the self-regulation. Every company has its code of conduct, its own code of conduct. Code of conduct is the simple principle made by a company, and these principles are to be followed by every worker, employee, manager working in the company. So, code of conduct is simply the principle, rules, policies that is made by the company so that it can be followed to regulate the company or to maintain discipline in the company. Now let us come to the next topic of corporate governance, that is problems of corporate governance. In today's lecture we have discussed about the various mechanisms of how corporate governance can be governed in a company, and now I am going to discuss the topic of problems of corporate governance. Problems of corporate governance. What are the various problems of corporate governance? The first problem is demand for information. Second problem is monitoring cost. Third problem is supply of accounting information. These are the various problems of corporate governance. So let us discuss the first one, demand for information. Demand for information. A barrier to shareholders using good information is the cost of processing it. The solution is efficient market hypothesis. EMH that suggests the shareholders will free ride on the judgments of larger professional investors. So, the shareholders should be given good information about the company. The second problem of corporate governance is monitoring cost. Monitoring cost, in order to influence the directors, the shareholders must combine with others to form a significant voting group, which pose a real threat of carrying resolutions or appointing directors at a general meeting. So monitoring cost is simply द राइट ऑफ वोटिंग. कैसे हम लोग मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं डायरेक्टर्स को? थ्रू वोटिंग. कोई भी रेजोल्यूशन पास किया जाना चाहिए तो वोटिंग के थ्रू होना चाहिए, और रेजोल्यूशन तभी पास होगा जब उसको पूरा वोट मिले. सो दिस इज द थर्ड प्रॉब्लम ऑफ corporate governance, that is monitoring cost. Second problem, the third problem is supply of accounting information. Supply of accounting information. Financial accounts enables providers of finance to monitor directors. Imperfection in financial reporting process will cause imperfection in the effectiveness of corporate governance. So, this is the third problem of corporate governance. Thank you.